We casual as fuck.
We done casual. Y'all
we're
may think that we just sitting over here. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's been hurting me because I can't talk to my brother on the regular. It's normal because we would normally have these conversations off camera, and then I'd say, hey man, one time we tried that shit. And I was like, man, what you think about this? And then we talked about it for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we can't. Yeah,
But
we can't.
it wasn't recorded. And then when we got on screen, we didn't even bring the shit up.
We couldn't talk about it. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturnist, and I'm here with my bro
Ken Folk, and we are
Super Hadnot Bros, and we are a podcast about nothing because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about any and everything.
Yeah, man.
I like that. That. I think I'm starting to get a short in my headphones. I'm gonna have to give me some new headphones soon.
You got to figure it out.
I'm gonna go get the earbuds, so I can just pop them in, so I don't have to rock these big old things.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what was your week like?
My week was pretty dope. I found out a lot about movies and things that happen in the world that kind of made me think about stuff. So it's kind of dope.
Okay, same here. I got I got a few notes jotted down for today's conversation.
Well, the movie we talked about in the last episode that I brought
Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear. I found out this is based off of true stories.
I saw that. I saw that. I don't know how to feel about that.
Okay, so basically there was a guy that was smuggling dope, and he was in a plane, and he put too much dope in the plane. Right. So he had to dump a couple of keys, right?
Right.
He dumped those couple of keys. He just threw them out in the middle of nowhere. This bear randomly comes across this cocaine and digests the cocaine.
Right.
And he goes on a rampage and start killing everybody because he gets addicted to it. And anybody who got coke in the park, you're gone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a wrap. But the true story is the guy threw the cocaine, the bear gets it, and he ingested so much, he ODs and dies, right? They making a movie, it's kind of like Jaws on cocaine, right? But it's a bear.
Yeah.
But the fucked up thing about this shit is the reality, the guy threw the cocaine. The bear gets the cocaine. The bear dies. He still had too much cocaine on his plane. The plane starts going down. He has to jump from the plane to save himself. He was like, fuck it. It's a lost cause. Jump. He had a parachute jacket on.
Yeah.
Parachute never opened up.
Oh.
This dude landed in somebody's front yard.
Did he explode?
I don't know.
He should have exploded.
In the stuff I looked up, he was laying in somebody's front yard, and the guy woke up and was like, "Hey, there's a guy laying in my front yard. He don't look like he's alive. He don't look like he's alive."
Yeah,
and that's pretty much all they had. Parachute never came out.
I can see
so like he died and the bear died in reality, but to make a good movie,
of course.
What if this bear really was coked out?
Well, that's what the movie apparently looks like.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the day,
he was like fiending for it.
Yeah, he was fiending for it.
Based on the trailer.
And anybody who had it, he was coming to get you. So I don't want to know the actual effects of a bear full of cocaine and how they react.
I would imagine it'd be just like anything else. I would imagine it'd be like us, except on a much more feral level. Like,
I was talking to somebody at work about it, and they was like, "Well, they should test drugs on other animals." I said, "They do. They do test drugs on like dolphins, and they get full of Xanax and Exos and cocaine and all kind of stuff. But dolphins are pretty much as close as the mind frame we go get
humans, like
to,
the humans of the sea,
right? So
yeah,
they're gonna have a different reaction because they the only other species that have sex for pleasure rather than reproduction.
right. And they can think like they have a sort of sentience to them, like that's very, very, very close to humans.
Yeah, like that they actually name their youth, the
Nah,
pups.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so they have pups. That's what they call them, pups.
Mm-hmm.
The mom gives them an actual name,
Mm-hmm.
just like we have one.
Right.
But we have to decipher their sonar.
Right.
There's a couple of scientists that went out there and looked at it, and they deciphered how to speak in their language and alphabet and whatnot, and call this particular dolphin by name,
And
and
see if it would come.
they'll come to you.
So what is it, like a certain frequency, almost like Morse code, or
I don't know if it's a
like
full on
long
Morse
beeps,
code.
short beeps, a series of combinations of both, or
I don't know if it's Morse code. I really wouldn't know what to call it because it's like sonar.
I mean, I know it's sonar, but like usually sonar, don't they? Isn't sonar a noise, or maybe it's just some sort of weird signal?
It's a signal.
Okay, so it's something that we can't do without technology, like something that we can't hear or perceive or anything without the proper
You wouldn't be
technology.
able to mimic it. I'd say that.
No,
Not
but what I'm
especially underwater.
no, what I'm saying is, okay, so if a dolphin communicates, we as humans, if without the scientific equipment, we can't hear, see,
No,
none of that. We have
no.
to have the equipment to. Okay, got you.
Yeah, and but it's just weird that they have very specific names, and if the mother or somebody says that name, that dolphin's coming.
Right. Okay, well that's pretty cool.
But when they get mature, they don't listen to everybody who says the name. They listen by the sonar of the waves and be like, that's not my mama calling me, so I'm not gonna answer just because you called. They actually have like their feelings about it.
Right. They can think. They can think with reason and logic or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah. That's interesting. I didn't know. I mean, I've always known that dolphins were very intelligent, highly intelligent, but I didn't know that it got that deep. I didn't know it was that many.
Hey, I'm in the middle doing my podcast.
Like right now?
Yes, like right now.
Oh, so I'm on the radio?
No, get your ass off here.
All right, bye.
All right. So yeah, they do have their own sonar, and they can actually distinct who is calling and whatnot. It makes sense to them. It just wouldn't to us.
That's good to know. I never knew that. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I
man.
like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Fun fact, people.
But speaking of cocaine,
People,
or drugs, should I say? I was sitting here thinking about it the other day, and I was sitting here trying to figure out why weed is really legal. So I did a little bit of research, and some of the stuff that they were saying was, let me pull up this little link here real quick. Of course, my mind went way to the left when I started doing my research. Yeah, no, go ahead.
You keep going.
But it was saying that a lot of the reasons that is illegal is because, one, first and foremost, people think that marijuana is addictive, which of course
it's not.
It can't, because I haven't smoked weed in like months. And yes, are there times I have a desire for it, but I can control those desires and be like, nah, I don't need that today.
Okay.
So, but that's one. Two, it said that in the 1900s, just after the Mexican Revolution, the U.S. saw a huge influx of Mexican immigrants into the United States. And so when they came into the United States, they was bringing marijuana. So what they were doing was, in order to stop them from coming over they made it illegal so that they can arrest them and stuff like that to kind of
Okay.
increase the number of immigrants coming in. Another one just simply says that Nixon was an asshole. And 4 was the most important thing in the topic that I really wanted to go to. And it says that weed is thought to have harmful effects on the body.
Okay.
So my question is that why are they claiming it to be harmful to the body? Or here's my crackpot theory. They're telling us that it's harmful to us and it alters our brain because the truth of the matter is that it really unlocks your brain and make you see some real shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that they're hiding something because at the end of the day, I've never heard of anybody ODing on marijuana.
No, I've never heard anybody OD on marijuana either.
Never.
No, but that's the thing. We all know that it's not harmful, right?
Like, and it's a natural herb, right?
You could smoke a fuck ton of it. I mean, I did read that it can kill you, but it would take an incredible, like unrealistic amount of weed to do that.
I get it. That's what I'm saying. It's a natural herb.
Yeah.
Comes from the ground.
Right.
You can actually grow this stuff naturally, and it does the same thing it does with all these chemicals or whatever. None of that stuff. It's medicine.
Yeah, no, it is. Okay, but that's my thought. My thought is, okay, so if they're telling us it's harmful, so they try to scare us away from it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to keep it straight.
No, I see.
My boy Henry, man.
Rest in peace to Henry. But no, I'm thinking that I honestly believe that it. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody who smokes weed, but I know that the times I've smoked it, and I've had conversations with other people who smoke it, and everybody kind of has the same common denominator, which is it really helps unlock your mind. And what I mean by that is when we've talked about this several times where you only use so much of your brain or whatever.
Yeah.
It brings you to a level of thinking so high that you start thinking about your place in life. What does the universe mean? All this, that, and the other. And then you start you start thinking about like real, like cold, hard truths that people don't really care to talk about or know, right?
Right.
About like nothing seems real or anything of that nature. Like you start having some really, really, really deep thoughts. So I'm wondering if that the people who make it illegal, I guess the government, whatever, I don't know who make it illegal, the government, the law. They are afraid that we may learn too much and find ways to like maybe overthrow them or stop them or whatever the case may be, right?
No, I don't. That's too far into it.
I mean, I'm not saying that would actually happen, but I'm just saying like the level of thinking, the things that, because when you start thinking about crazy shit, every good idea starts as a crazy idea, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think they rather look at it as like we're gonna overthrow anything they think of. Yeah. It's more of it was a common drug amongst the minorities, and they just wanted to take that shit out of there and make it a bullshit ass crime. That's why you have people that was in prison for non-violent crimes for 25, 30, 40 years,
right,
and shit like that. It was a way to keep us off the streets. It was real easy to do.
Right. I agree with that. No, I definitely believe racism plays a major part. That goes back.
Right. And it's not just racism. It's just more of a money grab. Make it harder for these niggas who will keep doing the same thing. Yeah. And then everything else, coke, you want to do coke, we'll give you a slap on the wrist. But if you do crack, can't do crack.
No, crack's not good for you. I don't know. I just always thought that was a weird thought. Because it does. I feel like it unlocks your mind and it makes you just think about shit that we don't think about on average. Right. But just a thought. Here's something I want to talk. Yeah.
God damn it. What, baby? Yeah.
So what I did want to talk about, this actually, I just read about it today, but I saw all the tweets going on yesterday on Twitter. Have you been seeing what's been going on with DJ Quik?
I saw that he made a comment saying he should be right at the rankings with Dr. Dre,
Mm-hmm.
and
So
I don't I don't think he's wrong.
no. That's what I was gonna get into. So I went and read the story. I read the TMZ article, and then I watched this video. He's a little. I don't want to say that he's upset because he did say that it's not that he's mad at Dr. Dre or anybody like that. No diss to
Yeah,
anybody that's like making stuff and not really giving him like not so much that they're not giving him his credit, but the people who are supposed to be giving him his credit are not giving him the credit. He's basically saying I'm not mad about it. I'm just letting y'all know this is how I feel. I've been in the game for 30 plus years. I'm did the Dr. Dre tutelage. We kind of came up around the same time. He's like my big bro. And like I put in my work and I've worked with like some man, my uniform is decorated, you
well, see,
know?
the problem is with him is all the music he did that's way up to the top. The number one hits he did, they never put him at the front of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
He did a lot of stuff that was number one hits all day long.
Right.
They just never put him at the front. Dr. Dre
Right.
was already a rapper in a group. He was doing this, and that, and it kind of gave him an image to where
Right.
people would just be like, "Oh, that's Dr. Dre," but a West Coast sound.
Right. Okay. So
He
here's the
made
crazy
something
part.
that was straight up. When you hear West Coast music, it's got to be DJ Quik, because
Yeah.
Dr. Dre music was not West Coast.
No, I beg to differ. When he did the Chronic, that was definitely West Coast.
No, I'm saying that made that West Coast sound, DJ Quik.
I disagree. I
What
think it was definitely okay.
it,
Well, I'm trying to.
okay,
Wait,
all I'm
wait,
gonna
wait,
say
wait, wait,
is
wait, 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 wait,
okay,
wait, wait. Let me think. Let me think. When did DJ Quick come out? I know Dr. Dre was out in the 80s,
yeah,
but he was doing the thing with what's the name of that group? World Class Wrecking Crew.
right. He had
I,
the
I
Jerry curl and the
yeah, I
PC
can't
on
remember if
and
they were
whatnot.
doing anything super hip hop then. I was probably like mad 80s.
No, that shit was disco.
That's what I'm saying. It was mad 80s. So DJ Quick, I'm trying to think. He came around the late 80s. You might be right because DJ Quick does have like that sound, but I think Dr. Dre came out with the Chronic and it that's what took the G Funk sound or whatever mainstream. But no, I know what you're saying. DJ Quick
Right.
did it. I know what you're saying.
He created the sound of the West.
Right. I see what you're saying. No, I agree. I think you may be right because Chronic didn't come out till what 92, 90, 91, 92, something like that.
Yeah.
And so DJ Quick had been out around before that, and he was already doing a lot of that. And really and truly, shit, if you really want to think about a West Coast sound, Too Short kind of had like a thing going on in the 80s too.
He did, but this sound was based off of beats from DJ Quick.
Yeah. Well,
So,
yeah.
it was very basic, but it was the sounds and instruments that they used to make a West Coast sound, you can't change that.
Yeah. Well, I think what made him have these feelings because he was basically saying, I need my like nobody gives me my flowers, basically like
Yeah.
that. He said that because I think a couple days prior, I don't know exactly how long prior, but he put up a video where E1 Music, I guess that's who used to own Death Row for all the stuff that he did. They sent him a royalty check for $188.96. And so he basically,
That's before Snoop took over.
I think that's before Snoop bought him out. But he was just kind of like, what the fuck is this? This is 188. Like, I'm DJ Quick. What am I going to do with 180? I think he ended up
Yeah,
burning the check.
but was DJ Quick part of Death Row?
I don't think he was so much part of Death Row, but I think he contributed a lot of he
His
contributed his
original
work,
sound.
his
But that's
sounds
what I'm
and
saying. I
stuff
don't
into a
think he
lot
was
of stuff
part
they
of
were
Death Row
doing.
though.
No, he wasn't. But when he could for what he contributed, you're supposed to get paid.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? And again, this is a royalty check. Now I don't know
Yeah.
what the royalties were for. This could have been something that was made years ago. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the check was like stupid low. Like
Yeah.
it was insulting, basically. And so I think that's when he went into his whole spiel. And so that's kind of what I want to talk about, to see if anybody out there think that DJ Quick deserves to be on that same level as Dr. Dre. And I agree with you. Like I do think that DJ Quick, he's like how we talked about with the rappers, when you start talking about top 5 this, top 5 that,
Right.
or top whatever, DJ Quick always seems to get skipped. You know what I'm saying?
He does, because the West Coast don't give as much love, just like the South or anything else. Everybody goes straight to the East Coast. So
Yeah.
if your top 5 is not East Coast, then they kind of don't care.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not even talking about personally. I'm talking about just in general. You know, when you start talking about like Source magazines and all the major, I don't even want to call them major, but all of the hip hop journalists and the people that really do it, you know,
Yeah.
when they're giving praises to all these people, it just never seems like DJ Quick makes the cut, which is super. It sucks because DJ Quick is like one of the most amazing producers I've ever. Like every time I hear DJ Quick, it make me want to go pour a glass, go light a joint,
And chill,
and just
bro.
and
You
chill,
be
because
on
it be
chill
some,
mode.
because it does have like that. It's not like a West Coast bounce, but it's just like this. Like you can, you know what I'm saying? Like if you was in the car, you like this the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, I think people sleep on DJ Quick way more than they should. Actually, they shouldn't sleep on him at all. DJ Quick is incredible. But granted, I guess you know, I get it. These are all subjective at the end of the day, but like, you know, the man's portfolio.
If it wasn't for DJ Quick, you wouldn't have Daz. You wouldn't have none of them cats that's from the West Coast that people really just don't be putting up to the top. Daz Dillinger
Man,
is one of the greatest.
Daz Dillinger is dope as hell. It's funny you say that, because I was actually listening to Big Pimpin' the other day from the Butter Rim soundtrack.
Yeah.
He had the hardest verse on the song.
He had the best verse ever.
He had the hardest verse on the song. And what's so cool about, I think Daz Dillinger to me is almost like how we look at a Method Man, right?
Yeah.
If you listen, like if you're not listening to Daz Dillinger, you don't know what the hell he's saying.
Right.
But you get caught up in his flow, because his flow's so catchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you just can't help but rock with that shit.
Song, killed
but,
it. He wrote
the
that
lyrics
shit so hard, bro.
The lyrics are so cool, and he just like spit it so clean, like it was just so smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Cool.
Woke up on the morning with some bomb ass cock, my dip kind of lit, so I cruise around the block. Like that shit. Man, when he did that shit went so fucking hard. And people, yeah, he's another one that people just don't give credit to.
Man, people be falling off, but I feel like he got caught up in that. But if it wasn't for who was that, man?
DJ Quick.
DJ Quick, they wouldn't be there.
You know, I always think of like Daz Dillinger and Corrupt and all them that came up with the Dog Pound. I always categorize them as like artists like Murphy Lee, right? Like if we're talking about the Saint Lunatics,
right? Murphy
Lee destroys everybody in that crew.
He's way better than Nelly.
Way better than Nelly. So like, but the thing is, it's like for some odd reason, when you have a forefront artist that come out, right? That's a part of a clique. Like Snoop put the Dog Pound out. Yeah, he put the Dog Pound out and tried to get them some shine, but it's kind of hard for them to shine when you out here shining.
To do, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's a good.
If they did like the Dog Pound album with no Snoop, nobody's gonna
they would have to. They have to use Snoop, and it's no diss to like Snoop or anybody that put these artists on, because I know that their intentions are good. It's just hard for them to shine when you're like the front, you know, the de facto front man. It's the same thing with, like I said, Murphy Lee and
Nelly.
Damn it, Murphy Lee and Nelly, but I was thinking about like Biggie and Junior Mafia. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Junior Mafia didn't go that hard.
They really didn't go that hard, because I don't think Lil C's was writing all his shit. And that's no diss to Lil C's. I think it
wasn't dope or whatever. It was just they was attached to Bad Boy.
Yeah, that was Biggie really just trying to put them on because he wanted, that was his people. But yeah, like Nelly and Murphy Lee is like a big time example. Like when I listen to Murphy Lee, it was two songs that I heard Murphy Lee, these two mainstream radio songs that Murphy Lee goes incredibly hard on. He'd be like, how does
He got how did he get skipped over?
How did he get skipped over? Like when he did the Welcome to Atlanta remix, that verse
Killed
was
it.
dope as shit.
Killed it.
And when he got on Rich Boys Throw Some D's remix,
Throw Some D's remix alone. One of the best remixes of all time.
They put the wrong person to open it. They put the wrong person to open that song.
But just go ahead.
No, I'm done with that. I'm going with this.
Oh no.
They opened
remix this. It was one, not the best remix of all time. One of the best remixes.
It's one of the coldest remixes I heard. But they opened it with the wrong person because the person they opened it with, they should have closed it with. Yeah. Because when Andre got on there, when he opened that song up, he set the bar. He set the bar too high.
But the whole thing is, so I've been doing a lot of watching a lot of interviews about 3000. He's very particular about how he does his beats, sound, and subject.
Mm-hmm.
So when he did International Players with UGK and 3-6 Mafia,
yeah,
he didn't like the beat.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
Right. So he still was able to be like, I'm gonna do it, but y'all don't need to put me on until the beat starts. You remember he started it off, and it was just a background harmonizing.
Yeah, he was just going. Yeah,
the beat came on, and then Pimp C came in there and killed that shit.
Yeah,
but he just didn't like it. So that's one of the reasons I would think that's why he was on first.
Maybe, but he murdered it. Like he murdered that shit. Ain't a hood nigga but a nigga. Like he killed that shit.
He did. But it was just let me go ahead and eat, and then y'all can do whatever y'all want to do.
Right. That's funny you say that because a lot of rappers usually really don't like certain songs when they're being introduced to the beat. Like I was watching and I'm so late to the party, but I've been kind of watching People's Party with Talib Kweli, his podcast.
Yeah, I've been on it, yeah.
And so I watched the one that he did with Common. This is an old episode, but they were talking about
all the ones you're gonna speak of. Yes,
they were talking about a song that him and Mos Def did with Common, Respiration. I don't know if you ever heard Respiration.
Yes,
shit goes hard. Mos Def, that shit just goes hard. But Mos Def is by far my favorite verse on there. But they were talking about it, and Talib Kweli was telling the story about how the song was made. And he said that he had like literally chased Common around the entire country trying to get him on the song, like they were like just kind of running into him at shows and stuff like that. He said he like jumped on stage with Mos Def just to get Common's attention,
hey, nigga, look at me.
Yeah, and so he finally got him on, and they booked the studio that night, like one night after a show, to go do the song. And Common and Mos Def was like, "Nah, we don't like the beat." And actually, but you know what? In that case, I take that back. In that case, they actually didn't use the beat that Talib Kweli wanted to use.
Right.
They ended up using a different beat, but the song that ended up coming out of it ended up becoming like a dope ass fucking song. But I've always heard stuff like that. Like I know, like with Just Blaze, when Just Blaze did the old boy beat for Cameron,
yeah,
he didn't make that beat on purpose. It was an accident. It was a mistake, and he almost like didn't use it. Yeah, but it caught on, and I think he must have had it in his deck, and whoever used it. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop is a funny thing. It is.
Yeah, man, it is. It's a circus.
But back to DJ Quik, because that's what we were talking about. Yeah, so he was just really pissed off about that royalty check. And again, you got to think about all the artists. And I don't even think DJ Quik just only fucked with like hip hop artists. I think he kind of touched other genres.
He did, and he has or whatever. And I don't feel like he's wrong. Like he should be up there. The only difference is he didn't catch the audience that Dr. Dre did by
they couldn't catch the wave, right? Now, but this is you can look at it that way, but
okay, no. I mean,
I'm just thinking about way before Eminem came into play.
No, I'm thinking about overall. It
Yeah.
don't matter when he could have caught his wave. He just would have caught it. But
Yeah.
he is the reason West Coast sounds like West Coast music. But Dr. Dre gets most of the credit because you had the Chronic. We
Yeah.
can't take nothing away from Chronic.
It was a dope album.
Dope ass album.
Yeah.
When he did the other Chronic, what is it? 2001.
2001. Yeah.
Dope ass album.
Yeah, it was.
Took a
Classic.
long ass time. Dope ass
Classic.
album though.
Classic album. Yeah.
But you bring in Eminem, who brings in 50, who brings in the Game. You do all this other shit. It's all tiered from Dr. Dre.
And what's crazy is he worked with all of them.
DJ Quik?
Yeah, he's working with all
Oh,
of
of
them.
course he did. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is he didn't get the credit of saying I brought this white boy in that y'all gonna love and blah blah blah, which
Yeah. Well, we
gave
talked
Dr. Dre a lot of credit.
we talked about the young white avatar. If you haven't seen that episode of Atlanta, I definitely recommend going and see that episode of Atlanta.
Right.
But
I mean, you can do it anytime you want to. Just get a white avatar, but whatever.
But nah, yeah, no, DJ Quik definitely deserve way more credit than that he gets.
Shout out to DJ Quik.
Shout out to DJ Quik. I saw your tweets, man. It wasn't a rant. You was just putting it because you was putting them out. Boom, 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 boom. Just kind of going off about what
and people who feel some type of way like he's salty or he a hater, and then no, he's just giving the real. It's like I should be there, but we didn't do a good service to him, and that's the bad part about it.
But here's the flip side of that, and this is a mentality everybody, I think a lot of people, well, not a lot, everybody should carry, is that, you know, how we talk about like Grammys and Oscars, like how black people don't get that, they feel they need to fuck all that. You don't need that validation. You don't need none of that. Like yo, people. No, I know what you're about to say.
Okay,
but he deserves it. But he doesn't need it because those who fuck with DJ Quik knows the amount of talent and skill that DJ Quik has. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know he's saying that he don't get his flowers, but he do get his flowers. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He gets his flowers, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I mean, I that's what I'm saying. I get it, but it's nothing to say that he doesn't need to be there. I want to see him in the limelight. I want to see him with some cool shit like a fucking food app or something like called Quick Serve or something.
I think he's looking for.
And,
I think he's
looking
for.
What I'm saying? He got niggas Ubering shit to you real quick. Who knows?
I think he's want to put his. I think he want to put his handprints on Hollywood Boulevard. Okay. I think he wants to be in a hall. Like, and I'm not saying he don't deserve it.
He should.
Yeah. He deserves it 100%. I'm just saying that, you know, like I say, for your people who fuck with you, you know, like that's not gonna impress them because they're gonna be like, nigga, you was already dope. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the thing about DJ Quik, he never had a time when he fell off. Everything he put out is dope.
Everything he puts out is good. And on top of that, like you more than a DJ. You're more than a producer. You're a fucking sound engineer, bro. Like you know how to manipulate sound to the point of perfection. Like a lot of producers can't say that because they still have to go send their shit to go get mixed and mastered so that they can sound good for the final product. You can do all of that on your own. You can, and for all I know, he might know how to play instruments. Like he's probably multifaceted in all aspects of music. So, you know, for those who know DJ Quik and appreciate him, man, like he's getting his flowers. But like I said again, I get it. Like
if you like DJ Quik and you watching this, put a thumbs up in the comments.
Press thumbs up on this shit, man, because we gonna give DJ Quik his flowers he deserves because he definitely does deserve the flowers.
Let me see how many thumbs up he can get because I'm pretty sure
them thumbs up
like him, man.
Get them thumbs up. So on to the next topic. I don't know if you saw this yet. Shout out to Fred Woodside. That's one of my
Fred Woodside.
Fred is a day one like a motherfucker. But
man, before you get to it or whatever, I do want to say that dude there, ever since you was like this, my boy Fred, he has been A1 since day one.
Fred has been my guy.
Never wavered off, never questioned anything, always been by your side, never worried about nothing. That is the dude that anybody, you want to have a friend,
You know how
Your
long we've been
friend
friends?
needs to be like Fred Woodside.
You know how many? How long we've been friends? Can you believe it's been 26 years that we've been friends?
Yeah, but because it's crazy because I was talking to MJ about that or whatever. Like I'm 36.
Yeah.
I've been knowing MJ for over 30 years.
So have I.
That's what I'm saying.
So have I. I've been knowing Marcus since literally preschool, like
Yeah,
preschool. We went to preschool together.
you were 5,
I wasn't
4.
even 5. I was 4, 3, maybe even 3. I
Yeah,
don't know.
4, yeah.
But so I saw Fred post this and then I went to go do my research. Did you know that R. Kelly dropped an album?
What do you mean?
What you mean? What I mean?
Like recent?
He dropped an album. So let me go to the report because I don't want to say nothing
please
crazy.
go to the article.
Please. Let me go to the article. Let's see. R. Kelly drops new album while in prison. This is TMZ.
Okay.
Okay, so it says that he went ahead and dropped the album. But the album, let's see, the album was uploaded by Ingrooves, which is the distributor owned by Universal Music Group and without ties to Sony Music. But the album has since been pulled from both Spotify and Apple Music.
Okay.
Let's see. A source says at Sony Music tells us despite the album's claim of being a release from legacy releases not true, appears that this is a bootleg version. It's still unclear how the album was dropped and who was behind putting it out. But so apparently the album is called it's called I Admit It.
Okay.
And it features 13 songs with tracks with titles like I Found Love, Good Old Days, and Freaky Sensation. But it says that his last 3 tracks might be the most revealing. It is a 3-part piece called I Admit It, I Did It, where he unloads a ton of stuff he's done in the past. He put the full 19-minute track on SoundCloud back in 2018, but this marks the first time it's made it to Apple or Spotify.
Okay.
So the crazy part about it is, okay, somebody put the album out and then it got pulled, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, for all those who was talking all this shit about R. Kelly with this, like, if they can get a hold to that album, do you think they'll get it?
Yeah.
I honestly think so.
Yes.
And the reason I believe why is first, because although y'all say that y'all don't support his music and stuff like that, with this article saying that he released songs with tracks like called I Admit It, I Did It, people are going to naturally want to go see what the fuck he got to say.
Right. And my thing is, I don't think the title is what people are gonna think.
It may not be like that straightforward, but the fact of the matter is it's named that, so people are gonna, it's a way to get people to come in and listen. R. Kelly knew what he was doing with that.
There's a thing, like I've been watching a lot of videos lately about R. Kelly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this woman may be able to get him off and get him out of prison because they got evidence that she basically told on herself, and it wasn't what they thought. So basically, we all know the story. The only young person that was around him was the girl he peed on.
Right.
Her dad was in the band of R. Kelly and never quit. Her aunt was Sparkle, who led her there. And all this stuff, and the girl never wanted to press charges. So none of this stuff has anything to do with why he's in prison, right? Everybody from there on, they all were adults age.
Right.
They were 18 and up, and they kept saying they were in captivity, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this one particular woman, she went on a radio station and she had a book sold. She had the #1 book in the world and blah, blah, blah. And she made money doing interviews. She made her money.
Right.
She straight up was like, I was what you would call a fly-in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, well, what's a fly-in? She said, well, I can fly in and out as I please. I can just come and go and just fly wherever I want to go, back home, whatever. Then they said, well, how did you get captive? You know, how'd you get held captive? She was like, it wasn't until I moved into the house where I became captive.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, oh. And she said, well, I wasn't captive in the sense of like I couldn't go anywhere, or I couldn't do anything, I didn't need permission. She was like, I was mentally captive.
So speaking on that,
No. They said, how old were you when you got in contact with Mr. Kelly? 35.
what the fuck? Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna comment on that because I'm not about to have Black woman Twitter coming at me. But that okay. So
That was our words. People can look it up.
I'm gonna go back to the article because I'm glad you said what you said.
Yeah.
So it says that R. Kelly directly addresses the allegations as tracks go on, saying they're brainwashed, really, kidnapped, really, can't eat, really. Real talk, that shit sounds silly. While it's unclear exactly who he's talking about, he also seems to blame the parents of one of his female flings for introducing them, saying, and if you really, really want to know, her father dropped her off at my show and told the boy to put her on stage. I admit that she was overage. So yeah, as we reported, Spotify made the call back in 2018 to stop promoting his music when allegations about running a sex cult continued to pick up steam. But it sounds like R. Kelly's made it back to the platform with his telling tracks.
Yes.
That's from TMZ. So that's not from me, TMZ. I don't know how far to take that, but the fact of the matter is, I just feel like this is going to be one of those situations where it makes me think about that episode of the Boondocks. Because
Boondocks be getting it right.
But and I'm not neither for nor against R. Kelly. I don't have a stake in this claim at all. Like, he could be a shitty person and did all that. He may not have. I don't know. Yeah. I wasn't fucking there. But it makes me think about that episode when he did get indicted on the Boondocks, and he clearly did some crazy shit, based on the evidence. But niggas are still like, well, why are you supporting him? Cause he good, on some hood shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost wanting to feel like that kind of same sort of scenario is going to happen with that album coming out, because like I said, he named the album, I admit it. So I wonder if that's like
tune in,
drawing people in to go see it. That's if the album's even available. I don't know if it's available, but I'm thinking hypothetically, right? If the album is available, how many people are going to get to that album? Is it going to sell out?
I will definitely listen to it.
See, exactly.
I'm gonna listen to it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna jam that. So I'm not gonna say jam. I will listen to it to see what's going on.
Now, call me fucked up, okay?
Yeah.
Again, I don't support R. Kelly. I'm not support, but I'm not for nor against this situation.
Yeah.
I'm not for nor against him in this situation. Let me put it that way. I love his music. I think he's a talented artist. I'll just say that. But
and I'm just gonna say, for me personally, I don't know everybody else or you, I still jam the fuck out of some R. Kelly.
Yeah, no, I still listen to R. Kelly.
All right.
I solely am one of the people where I believe in separating the art from the artist.
Thank you.
I still appreciate the art, because that goes into the whole thing. Well, if you getting mad at R. Kelly for talking about this sex stuff, or even if he ain't even talking about none of that, but even if he did this, he's still creating an art, and that the art is good. You listened to it before, so if we're gonna boycott
at the graduation, my fifth grade graduation was I Can Fly.
If we're gonna boycott R. Kelly because of the things that he did, then there's a lot of other artists that have done some shitty shit too that didn't boycott it, and y'all still jamming his music. But that's besides the point. Where I was trying to get to was that you made me fucking forget, man.
My bad. Go ahead.
You made me forget.
Come on, man. Run it back.
Oh, okay. So I'm not for nor against him in this situation, right? But I would say that if Spotify, Apple was smart, they probably would want to let that music stay on there, because they're gonna make a lot of fucking money off of that album.
Well, yeah.
I think that R. Kelly's fan base is still strong and will sell the fuck out. That's me personally. But again, this is not me advocating for him as a person. This is looking at him as a creator as art. I'm looking at the art, just the art. You know what I mean? So
yeah, think about it like this. You go to any swing out club.
Yeah, they still playing fucking happy.
90% of the music in there is produced by R. Kelly.
They still playing happy people in that motherfucking Step to the Name of Love. Like, if you let me tell you something. If you over 55 years old and you talking about fuck R. Kelly and still go to a swing out club, you're a hypocrite.
You ain't dancing to nothing.
You're a hypocrite. Yeah, that's what you are. You're a hypocrite, because you ain't gonna go knowing goddamn well that 85% of the music is produced by R. Kelly, sung by R. Kelly,
Thank you.
performed by R. Kelly.
Yes.
You ain't gonna tell me you're gonna go pay that damn $5, go to the goddamn post to go get up and sit on your ass.
I'm telling you, man.
You done got your hair
people
done.
Come on, bro. They hear that beat, they just be sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then eventually they like, all right, come on.
Yeah, even if you ain't gonna get up, you're gonna chair dance like a motherfucker. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was a crazy thing that he's putting out an album. So I'm kind of, like I say, I don't know if the album's out. You know, I'm all going based off of things that I'm reading.
Right.
I don't know if the album's out. I don't know if it's been pulled or anything like that, but I'm really curious to know if, as a matter of fact, okay. So if you're listening to this podcast and if you found out that R. Kelly had just dropped the album and the album is available on any platform, put a thumbs up if you would buy it. Like this post if you would buy it. Like this podcast. Whatever you're watching this on,
in the comments, I want to see
put it in the comments. Whatever you're watching this on, double tap this and tell us whether or not you buy that album. And if you won't, tell us why. Plain and simple.
And tell us if you don't want to do it. Tell us why not.
Yeah. Like we want to know everybody's perspective because I mean, you know, I ain't gonna judge you on it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody should be judging what they think.
Because if you really don't want to listen to R. Kelly, my argument is always going to be, how far of R. Kelly do you not want to listen to? The music he produced, the music he sang, the music he collaborated with, whatever.
Right.
Like how far do you want to cancel them out? Because then we got to take care of the 90s.
Right. Hold on 1 second. Hero Sakura. Okay. I heard a thud against the house. I was like, I know these motherfuckers didn't like go outside. Ain't nobody here but just me and them.
Yeah,
all right. That'll get edited out. Okay, continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
I just want to see how far you're willing to go to get rid of R. Kelly if you really don't like him, because you got to get rid of so many groups and everything. You got to cancel everything if you want to do that.
Right. No, I agree. So yeah, put that in the comments, man. Let us know how you feel about a new R. Kelly album because we are very curious to know.
I'm gonna listen to it.
So I saw something else on Twitter. They talked about it on the Breakfast Club and all over the media. Are you familiar with the artist Summer Walker?
That's one of the hot girls, summer girls.
She's one of these. She's one of these new R&B artists, not the Summer Walker like from Beaumont. You know what I'm saying? But she's another Summer Walker. Like she's been out for like the last couple years or so. But apparently she needed an assistant, and she had put up a post about.
Oh yes, I did see something about that.
Yeah. So there was a big debate between that because let me go back to the post. The post says that she needs a male assistant. She's willing to pay $2,000 a month. He has to be at least 25 or older in Atlanta, has to have a car, has to know how to build stuff, and she's looking for somebody either preferably gay or white.
Right.
So the argument here is that, okay, well, one side of people are saying, well, that's being discriminatory. You know, if you are going to have those preferences, you need to keep those preferences to yourself and then hire accordingly as to what you're looking for.
Thank you.
So that was one side. And then the other side was saying, well, she has a right to be able to hire what she wants. There shouldn't be anything wrong with that. I agree with both sides, but I'm more leaning towards what I first said, where if you're going to have those preferences, you're more than welcome to have those preferences, but you can't, I would think that legally you shouldn't be able to do that as an employer. Right. Because it sounds very discriminatory, because some people were just like,
you're blatantly putting it out there that I'm not going to hire you if you're black and straight.
Yeah. If you're black or straight, which is kind of crazy, because to me, like that part that you just said right there, to me, that sounds very arrogant. Yeah. Because now you feel like, because you're a female that I guess people may deem attractive or whatever, you think that if you hire a straight black dude or even just a straight man, they gonna want to smash. Yeah. First and foremost, everybody ain't just looking at every girl like that. Like, despite what you may think that guys think about sex, this, that, and the other, every dude ain't just trying to fuck every girl. Like, guys have their preference, and guess what? You don't fit every dude's, you know what I'm saying, avatar. You know what I'm saying?
And to be honest, $2,000 a month for me to be your dude boy? That's not
Yeah,
enough.
that's part-time. That's part-time work.
Yeah, that's not enough.
But I don't know. To me, and again, if you wanted those preferences, you have the right to do that. You just can't put that out loud like that because that does come off a certain way. And so people were just kind of like, well, why weren't you hiring black or straight? You know, and they just thought it was a little fucked up. But and of course,
she claimed that she was like, I hired nothing but black. I did this for black people, blah blah blah. And she was like, all the men wanted to holler at her, and all the other, people just didn't do what she wanted, and blah blah blah. But it was just like, you didn't have to put it in. You could have just said, I'm looking for an assistant.
yeah,
And then whenever you do interviews,
you
interview
filter through.
them. And you can filter it all you want. You ain't even got to tell them, oh, I was looking for a
right.
black person.
I mean, shit, that's how every employer in America hires anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
job
saying?
interviews I done went to, and they was like, we'll give you a call.
We'll call you. Yeah. So that makes you no different. Like, I don't know, man. I'm getting I done got to a point to where now when I'm on like social media, Twitter or whatever, if I see a celebrity post something, I'm damn near deleting everything that they post because like there is this sort of 1% mindset that they have where it's just like nobody gives a fuck. Like
they really forget about the everyday person because they are not alone. They've been so out of touch. They don't know what people go through anymore, including their own families and whatnot. Like they forget about their families and what they're going through and how people are and what we got to go through. So they kind of just look at it as like, well, if I'm making X amount of money per show and this and that, you should be able to do the same thing. They kind of forget about everybody.
It's not even that, but
they're not in touch with reality anymore.
But you know what? I can't even just pin that on celebrities. I have to say that with everyday people because when I see people put stuff on there, like I think I saw SZA put something. You know what? I'm not gonna quote what she said, so I'm not gonna say it. But it was something along the lines of like, "I'm tired of playing with like silly people."
Oh, okay.
Who gives a fuck? Like,
that's
okay,
cool.
Okay.
But see, the problem is SZA fine as fuck, so people go simp to her anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of like the elitist. Well, I'm not even call it elitist. That's just arrogance. But
they
know
to
what
her
doing.
no matter what because she fine.
But yeah, I get so sick of that. Like when people go on
I
there
didn't know
say,
she was that fine until I seen her on
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what the girl looked like.
I didn't know nothing until she was on Saturday Night Live. I was like, oh, that's her. I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's fine.
Well,
but still, I'm not gonna simp. But it's a lot of people are simp to it just because.
Yeah, well, that's just how it is anyway. That goes to that whole beauty thing we talked about a while back.
Right, that's what I'm saying. She's gonna have the beauty privilege.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. But yeah, I get mad when people just put random shit. Like, I don't want to call it random, but like, and I get it. You're very free to express yourself. These are my opinions, so come at me however you want to. What Rick says? Your insults to me only raises your self-esteem. It does nothing for me. But no, like it's just like saying stuff like I'm gonna take off from social media for a long. Who just fucking disappear? Like,
just do it. Who gives a fuck?
Nobody cares. Like it's just
one of my main things that I do now. I be hanging around them, but old schools and shit, right? And everybody got their old school sayings and shit. So I see old school, they come up, they like, what's up, man? How everything going? Shh, can't complain. If I did, nobody would give a fuck anyway. And they be like, yeah, you're right. That's the whole thing. Like, nobody cares.
That's the entire facet of life. I think if everybody could understand that, everybody would be in a much better mental state. You'd be so much better. And I understand that the brain is a very impressionable and sensitive thing. And when people say things and do things to you, you got to remember when people say shit, talk about you, they only, like I said, they only do it to make themselves feel better. So like, if that's not, that shouldn't have any effect on you. And I know that's hard to do because of the way we've been conditioned in, I guess, in a societal, I don't know what the right word is, but the way society has conditioned us to be, right? Like they make it hard on you to be like, oh, well, in order to be normal, I have to take what they say to heart and then abide by what they say so that I can fit in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
because it's against the law to be masculine now.
Yeah, speaking of which, so I know we talked about Wakanda Forever. I still have not seen it. Guilty, whatever you want to call it. I don't give a shit. I'll watch it when it come on Disney Plus. But I saw this chick on YouTube. I can't remember her. Man, hold on, because I want to shout her out. I want to shout
Yeah,
her out.
shout her
I
out.
really want to shout her out.
Get her name.
But
Find that woman.
this chick went on YouTube and said that she was pissed behind Wakanda Forever because, and I think you touched on it too when you talked about it, was
I know
that
you're talking about.
it was saying that the women were too, they were given too, they were too not so much too masculine, but they emasculated the black man basically.
Her name is I am something.
Man, I'm about to pull it up I'm about to pull it up here in a second because I want to shout out because I did watch.
She used to be a guest on this show on a panel of people, and people used to dog her out because she had very traditional values, and whenever she would get on people's ass, like they didn't know how to take it, and she wasn't rude, she wasn't angry, she was just taking it for what it is and being real about everything.
So do you know what? I'm a Courtney, is it Courtney? Is
Courtney.
that her?
Yes, Courtney.
Okay. So Courtney Michelle, yeah, she
Courtney
went on
Michelle.
there.
I am Courtney Michelle. Y'all go out. Anybody who is watching, I am Courtney Michelle.
Okay,
Don't
so
check
Courtney
her page
Michelle,
out. She was from the Lapeef Network.
Okay.
And would argue with women all the time who was ratchet and didn't give a damn about nothing. And she was actually just trying to give women game.
Right.
And they called her weak. And it was weird as hell.
Because she spoke. Okay, well, first and foremost, people are allowed to speak their mind. So I think calling somebody weak for speaking their mind is the weakest shit you could ever do. Right. But, and I heard you say that, she's very traditional. I'm actually a very anti-traditional person. But I will also say this. What she said about the movie was actually, well, I've never seen the movie, but, based off of the trailers and the things that I've seen in the reviews and even the plots because I read all that stuff before I even watch the movie, it did sound true. And she was basically saying that the movie was too woke. Because there is a such thing as being too woke, by the way. Like, some of y'all motherfuckers need to go take a nap, like, go to sleep, go hit a joint, pass out for a few minutes, and start over because there's a such thing as being too woke. But yeah, it was basically saying that the women were the more dominant people in the show, and they made the men look like weak buffoons. Or whatever the case may be.
They were very weak.
Yeah, so I think and I watched another video. I can't think of those people's name, but I don't want to go that deep. I'm not gonna dig too deep into it. But they were basically saying like, when are we gonna stop doing all this woke shit? This extra.
They tried to cancel her, Courtney Michelle. They tried to cancel her.
Exactly, because woke people always want to cancel some shit. But
it's like you want to cancel this black woman that y'all supposed to be uplifting because everybody's on the black women tip, but because she gave her honest opinion and it wasn't to your narrative, now she gotta go.
People can't handle opinions, man, and I think that's just the dumbest thing, and that's what's wrong with the world, right? Like, especially like right now in the US. The US is so divided, so torn. Everybody got an opinion. And it's like there's just this opinion has this big group, this opinion has this big group, and nobody can't seem to get along. I look at it like this. If you can't agree with somebody's opinion, just simply don't agree with it. That don't mean you got to be mad about it. You ain't got to be pissed with them. You can avoid a lot of conflict by simply just respecting somebody's opinion. But the argument was, I think the reading between the lines of what she was saying and what this other podcast is saying was that Hollywood is doing too much of this now. Like,
it's on everything.
We get it, and this is not a complaint, like, because I don't support I'm not for nor against like the LGBTQ community. I'm not for nor against women's rights. I just feel like everybody's equal, right? Everybody's on the same playing field. You fuck who you want to fuck. You feel what you want to feel
as adults.
Yeah, as adults. Disclaimer: as adults, you feel what you want to feel. You do what you want to do. And I'm not saying that there should not be representations of all these different groups and ideals and perspectives in the media, but I think that when people do it, they do it for the wrong reason. And I think that, like with Hollywood and like with Disney, for Disney big time, is that they do it because they know that they can capitalize off of because of the image that Disney has. It's family friendly. They are super progressive and this, that, and the other. Nothing wrong with that. But it does get to a point to where you're putting it way like you're rubbing it in our faces now.
Well,
You
to
know,
where you deviate from where the story should be.
yeah,
Instead of
you're putting
making a good storyline,
over an
they can
overall
care
story,
they
right?
can care less about the story. They just
They're
want you to know about this one
yeah,
particular character. They have to be non-binary or a transgender or a gay or whatever, just to get their point across. And
yeah,
that's it. That is the whole story to them. Instead of just
right.
making a story, like we need a good story.
Yeah, just make a story. If you want to put those subplots in there, that's cool.
But
That's
don't make it the
cool.
main focus.
But that's what I'm saying. It's if it's supposed to be a subplot, leave it as a subplot, unless you want to tell that narrative. Like let's say like that movie like Moonlight. I never seen it, but I know that that was the
Neither.
meat of the story. I know that that was the meat of the story. Or like movies like Brokeback Mountain. That
They
was the
was gay
meat of
as
the
hell.
story. That's what it was supposed to be about. So that was the
Well, according to
narrative.
Family Guy, they horses was fucking too.
No. According to Family Guy, you saw it from the horse's point of view.
Oh yeah,
You
okay,
saw
okay.
you saw it from the horse's point of view. But yeah, they was basically saying like what's happening is that all these big companies and names and stuff like that are only catering to these communities because they know they're gonna make a buck off of
Of
it.
course,
It's the same thing like Adrian watches a lot of Hallmark and
yes.
Lifetime and stuff like that. And Hallmark is supposed to be like the
Sister-in-law, stop.
Hallmark is supposed to be like the family friendliest, the family friendlies. But like they're putting a lot of that stuff in there too. And like I say, progressive, cool, whatever. But it's the manner in which they do it, you know. It's just so in your face. It's like, nah, you know.
It don't have to be just
And
really
I'm not,
drawn out.
and I'm not even saying be subtle about it. All I'm saying is just be realistic about it. You know what I'm
Make the
saying?
character. We all have family members that are gay
Yeah.
and whatnot,
No
and
issues.
that's not a problem. But it doesn't have to be a focal point. Like
Right.
our aunt, she has been gay as long as I can
Our
remember
entire
my
lives, yeah.
life. And I tell people all the time, I did one thing one time with her that I really just didn't know. I was so confused. I was dumbfounded because I just knew her as, I know she's my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
She
But you
never
kind of
claimed to be a man.
but she's very masculine.
But she's never claimed to be a man or
Right,
anything.
right.
But she's just my aunt. That was a normal thing.
Yeah,
It
we
wasn't
never
like,
saw her
oh,
any
she's
different,
gay,
right?
this and that. But one day she asked me to bring her to the store, and I was like, sure,
I
I'll
know
bring
where
you to
this
the
is
store.
going.
And
You had to go buy that stuff.
yeah, she said I need to go get some lady products. And I was like, some lady products? She was like, yeah. And I looked at her and I said, for what? I forgot that she is still a woman.
She's still a woman.
But because her masculine energy and everything and the way she carried herself, she carried condoms in her pockets. Not for her,
yeah.
but to her to jug somebody.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, it took a while for me to register that. Oh yeah, she is still one. But my whole thing is, it's natural. We have these people in our lives and stuff, but it doesn't make it weird. But I don't have to throw that in nobody's face. I don't never say, "Hey, this is my gay aunt."
So here's the thing. This is how I look at it. There's several ways to look at it. First and foremost, if you throw it in our face, that's what makes it weird. That's one way to make it weird. If you're a person that's like anti-gay, you know, and you're basically being homophobic, then that makes it weird. Because if you're digging that deep into, if you're trying to figure out what's going on with a person that's homophobic or whatever, LGBTQ, if you're spending that much time trying to figure out what they're doing, then clearly you're interested. You know what I'm saying? That makes it weird. But if you just living your life, just doing what the fuck you doing, that doesn't make it weird. Okay, so you know, if I never knew that you was a gay man or a gay woman or whatever you want to call yourself, and then you show up in a public setting with your significant other that happens to be the same sex or transgender, whatever, then just let it be.
It is just what it is.
But
I got a gay partner.
Yeah.
He's super gay.
Yeah.
But he's not gay around. I'm not gonna say not gay. his actions and mannerisms are different around certain people. So
Yeah.
like if me and the homies are chilling and he pulls up, they would never even know that he's gay because he cool. He cool as
Yeah.
hell. He one of the fellas. He goes smoke with you, drink with you, have conversation. He'll freestyle with you. He'll do all kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment a woman approaches, he gets really flamboyant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he does, I don't. It's not like I tell him he got to move around. I just be like, hey, bro, tone it down, because I don't like the language that gay men use to women. They call them fish.
Mm-hmm.
If you got it
I mean that makes sense.
right,
I know
but
where
they
you're
call
going.
them
Yeah.
fish, and I don't
Yeah.
think that's an appropriate thing to call them or whatever. But they call them bitches and this and that or whatever, and the women just tend to take it. But my whole thing is, I'll be like, hey, bro, even though you do that, I still don't like it when men call women bitches around me. I don't care if you're
Mm-hmm.
gay, straight, whatever. So I still check that. But it's not a problem when he's around
Mm-hmm.
until somebody is being weird.
Yeah. If somebody makes it, yeah, let's say people make it weird.
One dude hung out with us. He done smoked a blunt with this dude, freestyle with this dude, hung out with him and everything. And
Right.
no clue. The moment he found out, oh, he lost his goddamn mind. He ain't know what to
But you
do with
know,
himself and this and
I,
that. But when he left, my gay partner was like, he wanted us.
that exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'd be like, that's
He
why
was
I'll
just
be
trying to
giving.
hide it.
That's why I'll be giving a shit. Now, granted, when I was a much ignorant person, I used to say some fucked up shit. I ain't
Right.
gonna sit here and lie. When I was younger, I did, but I opened my eyes and understood that the world is just fucked up no matter what. And that's not based on how gay people live their lives. I'm just saying the world
Right.
is just fucked up. What up? We all fucked up, and
We seen
it
low
is what
down
it
dirty
is.
shame, man.
But I remember when I worked at Kroger, the guy that worked at I don't know if you remember him because we used to work there together. I don't know if you remember him, but it was a guy that worked in the meat department. Tall white dude. His name was Kevin.
Yes.
Kevin was one of the coolest
Yeah.
dudes I knew. Now, when I met him, I never knew that he was gay or anything like that. And he even said that he was gay. He was just outright like, man, like I'm a gay white dude, and I like men.
Yeah.
And so he never did anything weird with me or nothing like that. It was just like you said, real cool dude. So I remember one day after I had quit Kroger, I popped up there one day. As a matter of fact, I had just met like me and Adrian had been dating for a while.
Yeah.
And we went up there one day and I had saw a couple of the other guys that I was kind of cool with or whatever. And I was like, hey man, y'all seen Kevin around? And they was kind of like, Kevin, like what you looking for Kevin? Like, why you looking for him? You know he gay or whatever. And I was like, what the fuck that's gotta do anything? And like that shit
Right.
gonna rub off on me. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So people who do that homophobic shit, truth of the matter is, if you're going that deep into it, clearly you have an interest. So you might want to start watching what you say when you be doing all that gay bashing and shit.
But the whole thing is, you have like certain situations, right? So like Gabrielle Union tried to shame Lil Boosie just a while back, saying that he's worried about their transgender daughter or whatever. And he was like, nah, I ain't gay. Everybody know I ain't gay. Cause she was like, you got a lot of dick on your mind. And this and that. My whole thing is this for her. If you're gonna support the LGBTQ community, how can you support them and then use gay to another man
Right.
in a negative term and try to make it seem like you weaponizing in the word gay?
Right.
That don't even make sense. So you got people who do that. To say I'm an ally, but I'm gonna use this as a slur to this person.
Yeah.
Like
and of course, I mean, I honestly
do that.
I honestly think she's doing it to press his buttons. I'm not saying she's going about it the right way.
Yeah, but why would you? If you say if you're an ally, you shouldn't use that as a
no. I agree.
term.
I agree, but I do feel she comes off as to me as the person that if you offend her or anything like that, she's gonna she's gonna come back and she's gonna try to hit you. She's gonna try to hit you where it hurt, and that's what she's doing with Lil Bootsy.
And
But
you thought that was the best way to do it?
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying
That's
she's
what
going
I'm
about it the right
saying.
way. Yeah, no, that's just how she is. And I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I think this is a very generic statement. Everybody is different. Everybody got
Yeah.
their own shit. And I mean this from coming from a really, really, really real place. Black, white, gay, straight, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, rich, poor, everybody's different. Respect everybody's views, and let's just get the fuck along. But the problem is that nobody ever wants to have those conversations. Nobody wants to sit down and have the conversations to see each other's views and opinions and not so much agree, but to at least respect and move the fuck on. You
I
know,
went to a funeral, and this one pastor said it the best way possible. He said, when I go and lay this woman to rest in this cemetery, nobody's going to say she's laying next to a man or a woman or a child or an elder or a rich person, poor person, gay, trans, whatever. They all in one cemetery next to each other.
that's what I'm saying. We all bleed red blood.
Nobody is gonna know who is who when you see that name. That headstone does not tell you
It doesn't decipher that
anything.
person's lifestyle
No,
or what they did or whatever. All you literally see is a name
that's
and
it.
maybe a picture.
Yeah, they can have loving mom, loving dad.
And that's it. But yeah, no. But I mean, seriously, like I am a very open minded person. Again, I would rather learn something before I make judgment on it. I don't just call shit by just what I see. But I am open minded enough to see that the world, like I said, the world is a fucked up place, and I think that's just in all facets of life, all walks of life, all races, all whatever. And I feel like each and every one of us, black people included, whatever you want to call it, we sit so deep in our own ways. And I'm not talking about just us as black people, I'm talking about everybody.
Yeah,
Whatever group you're a part of, whatever community, because we all really and truly, we all are part of a bunch of different communities anyway, just individually. But whatever community you rest within, like you're gonna have your values, you're gonna have your morals, you're gonna have your lifestyle, you're gonna do you. All we can do, if we could just sit back and just be like, okay, well, it's kind of fucked up that you thought this way, but can you at least respect them to see it this way? Like, I just wish the fucking world would just come together and just have a sit at some massively round table and have this meeting, get whatever out on the table, and then move on. Because really and truly, a lot of the shit that we get into is like
we
really
all more alike than we are different.
We're all
And the
more alike
bad
and
part
different,
about
right?
it is the media and the way people talk. They
Yep.
take into these stories, right?
Well, that's called
So
sensationalism.
they take into these stories saying that black men, especially, go around looking for trans women to attack and kill, right?
I no.
No, that
I know
was
what you're saying. I know what
the
you're
media says that.
saying.
The thing the media never says is these people, no matter it's horrible what happens to them, they did not disclose this to that person at a great time. And
Yeah,
they
and
reacted a certain way and did this or whatever. I've always been one to say, if I go to a club and I'm chilling, I'm having a good time at night, and I see what I think is a woman at the bar, because I'm a heterosexual male, and I say, hey, how you doing, and such, and can I buy you a drink? I would rather them look me right in the face and say, hey, before you go any further, I was born a dude.
right.
I'm not gonna get upset because I found it out immediately.
Right.
I'm gonna say, enjoy your drink, because I'm still buy your drink, and I'm gonna pound it, and I'm gone.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate the honesty, but you cannot have a man that does not like other men go out on dates and kissing and doing all this other stuff, and then before they have sex, you just be like, "Oh, I'm a dude," or they find out you
Yeah.
don't say anything, they just see your thing swinging.
Yeah.
You can't understand how they're gonna react.
No, I agree with that. I do feel like because nowadays everybody's so snappy. If like you said, if you saw a dude that is a woman or
Surgeries are way better than what it was
whatever
back in the day.
whatever the politically correct thing to say, if you see a woman that looks like a woman, whatever, but wasn't born a woman or has a penis, whatever the case may
It's hard
be.
to say, so we just got to go with what we
Yeah,
know.
I don't know, but yeah, I'll just say transgender woman.
Yes.
If you walk up to a transgender woman not knowing that it's a transgender woman, you thought it was somebody that was born or assigned a woman. I feel like that disclaimer does need to be made because see, people
It
get
needs to be said from the jump.
well, but that's where I think that's where a lot of the issue is. And I'm not going to tag this on everybody in the LGBTQ community, but there are a lot of people who will say, if like you said, if you saw a woman, you thought it was a woman, and then like you found out later that it was that this woman has a penis or whatever you want to call it, you get upset. Their defense is their natural reaction is, well, I am a woman. They're gonna feel some kind of way because they're gonna think that you're calling them men, and I just don't think that's right. You should be able to disclose that information. If you feel that you're a woman, hey, cool,
go for it.
Be a woman, but you at least gotta let that dude or that person or whoever let that other person know who you are, because it's just like anything else in life. We have
consequences to everything you do,
and there's consequences to every action. And I'm not saying that it's right for these people to kill or hurt or whatever to these people. But like you said earlier, you don't know how these people are going to react in a situation like that. There are men that really just don't like men. They're not physically attracted to men.
And then people got to understand this: men, we handle men differently than we handle women.
Yeah, well,
if a woman is being combative and loud and this and that, most men, I'm not gonna say all, most men will try to get away from the situation and just like let her do her thing.
Right.
Let her embarrass you, do whatever, this and that or whatever.
Right.
But as a man, when another man does that or whatever, our pride gets in there and we handle that accordingly. And the most people who talk shit are people who never got hit in the mouth.
Probably so.
If you never got punched in the face, you're gonna talk shit all day long until you realize what real violence is.
Yeah.
Like men can get very violent with each other when it comes to disrespect. Yeah. We won't do that with a woman. But then once we feel like you try to betray me as a man, a heterosexual man, and try to give me penis, you can't really get mad at how I react to it. No, if you walked up to somebody in the store and just went spit in their face, you can't get mad on how they react.
Yeah, for every action, there's gonna be an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah. Plain and simple.
You go to a man and spit in his face, and if they react in a very violent manner, you have no reason to.
You have no control over that. Yeah, but no, I definitely do agree with the disclaimer. I mean, the fact that it should be said because, yeah, you whatever, you might be attractive. If you don't know, you don't know, and at the end of the day, it's not somebody's business to know if they don't want to get to know you, right?
Right.
But if they come to you and approach you, just be honest and just say, hey, look, I got a penis or whatever. Because everybody has their preference. There are women that don't like penis. There are men that don't like penis. There's men that don't like vagina. There's women that don't like vagina. There's transgender people that like straight people, and all these that people have their preferences. So
yeah, but okay, so they got to look at it in the same form of if you have any STD, right?
Yeah.
By law, you supposed like, especially like HIV or AIDS, because you can get charged with attempted murder if you have sex with somebody unknowingly and they end up getting it,
yeah,
and whatnot. So you need to disclose that shit, like they tell you when you find out you got it. You disclose that information to somebody before they move forward. Give them that choice to say yes or no. We in a new age now.
Yeah.
If there's a dude that went and had surgery and this and that, and now he is a woman or wants to be a woman or called a woman, give that guy a chance to say yes or no.
Yeah, I
That's the
mean,
whole thing.
because
There's some guys out here who be like, well, they a woman, so it is what it is.
that's
Right,
your
and
life.
that's their thing. But
That's
give
cool,
them that trust to say so.
Yeah, I feel like people are deserve to have a preference. You know, that's no bashing or anything like that. It's just basically saying like, no, I prefer to have this or that, and then that be it. You know, don't get mad at somebody for reacting a certain way because they honestly just didn't know because they were expecting one thing and got something else. It's
Yeah.
like, you could call it, you could call this a stupid comparison.
It
but
is, but I know
it's
it's
kind
gonna
of
be
like
one.
it's kind of like going to McDonald's and ordering a Big Mac and you really wanted that Big Mac.
And you got a double quarter pounder.
You drive off with some chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they give you chicken nuggets after you done drove off, went all the way home, opened a bag and saw some damn chicken nuggets.
I didn't order that
about
shit.
it. You
That's
may
not
fuss
what I
about
ordered.
it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I know that's kind of like on a much smaller scale, but essentially,
No, but I didn't order that.
That's the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you don't. That's not what I'm into. I'm not into that. So yeah, that definitely needs to be. I do feel like it should be disclaimed.
I just want them to change the narrative that people are going around just blatantly finding people to do this. It's when they find out they react in such a horrible way, and at the same time, it's kind of like you catch them off guard. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what people do when they back against a wall. They go react, and it's kind of hard to say if they wrong or right because you didn't disclose that information. If you would have gave them that information from the jump and gave them the choice, you wouldn't be in that situation.
Right. I don't know, man. It's one of those things.
Because a lot of transgender women don't feel like they need to tell a man.
That's what I was getting at earlier. Like, you know, if they feel like if they are a woman, they are a woman, and there should be no question about it. Again, that's nobody's business. But if you're introduced to somebody, and I'm not saying it has to be necessarily like day one, but if it's getting to a point where y'all about to smash or something like that, no, I wouldn't know. Fuck that. Day one. Because
day one.
No, yeah, fuck that. Day one. Because
from again,
that may not be that person's preference. And
like I said, if I said, hey, can I buy you a drink?
Even if it was just a kiss.
But if I say, can I buy you a drink? And they like, hey, before you get this drink, let me tell you what's going on. And then I'll accept. I would still buy them the drink. Yeah. Because I'm going to appreciate their honesty and be like, appreciate you letting me know.
And it's not a bad
gesture. That's not
gesture.
Me, but go ahead and I hope you have a good night. Find whoever
it's not a bad gesture.
But it's just not me. But you just can't trick people and think that you're going to be okay.
And also on the flip side of that, to the homophobes, every gay person ain't trying to fuck you.
They not.
Yo, I do find that a little bothersome because it's so damn discriminatory. Again, this is me not supporting or being. I'm not, like I said, I'm not for nor against the movement because I don't give a fuck what your lifestyle is. If you cool, you cool. If you ain't, then I ain't fucking with you. But you know, that goes back to like I was telling you about how I was working with old dude at Kroger.
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, if you know a gay person, you're gay by association, right?
Right.
Like that's how they look at it. But it's like, okay, just because I'm a man and I'm cool with a man who likes men, that doesn't mean that man wants to fuck me. Because if that man, first and foremost, that man's gonna respect me enough because he knows that I'm heterosexual.
Right.
He's gonna respect me enough to know that that's not even how I roll. And I'm gonna respect him to know that, okay, yeah, you fuck dudes, whatever. That's your life. You know what I'm saying? If he ain't trying to smash or nothing like that, then what are you tripping over?
That's the insecurity of that man.
That's what I'm saying.
But
it's insecurity.
Okay, my partner, Jeremy, Jeremy Green, that's my dude. Shout out to Jeremy Green.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Hella gay.
Yeah.
But I honestly hung out with him before he came out and said he was gay. Because like I said, when he around dudes, you don't know.
Yeah.
He's very masculine at times and whatnot. And then when we got older, I had been going to school with him from kindergarten up until 6th grade. Then he went to another school in high school, but we still, hung out.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, I may have been petty or whatever and wrong, but I really started hanging out with him a lot because he hung out with all the fine women.
Yeah.
They all hung out with him. He was the best wingman I ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't trying to smash them. He'd be like, oh, the chicks that I was afraid to talk to and didn't know how to approach and whatnot, I didn't have to because he'd be like, that's my friend. Hey girl, come over here. This Keenan, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he would always put me down. So if anything, they the best wingmen to have.
Yeah. Like I say, it's like gay is not gonna rub off on you. It's just like to racist white people. If a black person hug you, guess what? You're not gonna have a chocolate stain on your shirt. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be okay.
Okay. So let me tell you about the racist. Did I tell you about that about Kroger's when I was working at Kroger? Like when we both worked at Kroger. Now, I was cashier and stuff, and this white woman, she was like deadly afraid of black people.
Yeah.
She was hella racist. But I loved her.
Yeah.
Because she gave me all kind of tips. Not intentionally, but she gave me tips. So she would come through the line and didn't want me to touch the food that she bought, right?
Right.
So she would have 2 baskets of the same exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everything I would scan, she would bag it herself out of the other basket that she's having.
Mm-hmm.
I would scan everything, boom, 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 boom. And she didn't want to hand me the money. Mm-hmm. So if it was $20 and she paid with $100 bill, she didn't want the change because I would have to give it to her.
Right.
She'd be like, just keep it. And the first time she did it, I didn't want my register to be over, and they'd be like, did you fuck over these customers? Like, what'd you do? So I called the supervisor. She was like, well, take it as a tip. Her change. So I just got an $80 tip.
Wait. I missed like 10 seconds of that. So what happened? You said you called the supervisor and what?
I would call the supervisor and because I didn't want my register to be over.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to get in, like, they'd be like, I'm fucking over the customers. And she was like, well, just take it as a tip.
Oh, well, shit.
So if every time she came through there with $100 bill and her ticket was $20, $40, I'm making good profit off of that.
Hold on. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, yeah, it froze up again for like 5 seconds.
That was you, man.
Oh, maybe it was. But
yeah, because I was looking at your face. You look hella concerned and into the topic, but you just wasn't saying that.
I wasn't saying shit. Yeah. No, you was like this for like 5 seconds.
But no, they gave it to me as a tip, so that's always a good profit. If you paying a $100 bill every time and I'm getting $60, $80 off of that or whatever. So I didn't mind when she came through. You froze again, god damn it. Snap yourself out of it.
I know. I don't know what's going on, man.
Thanos.
Something out there tripping. But all right, well, it looks like we are right at the hour and a half. So I want to give a shout out to a couple of people.
Come on.
Some people on Twitter, man, because man, if you don't know, I've been trying to work the fuck out of this Twitter account.
Man.
Slave to the algorithm, man. I'm getting new followers.
Get them shout outs, boy.
Now, granted, these are other podcasters, which is cool because now it's a networking thing, right? But I definitely want to give a big shout out to Stu World Order. SWO Productions.
Shout out.
That's another shout out. And there's a couple of other people who show some love, man. Hold on. I'm gonna go ahead and just give them love while I can.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Tony Nacho, Anthony, I want to give you love. Shout out to you. Case Aiken, shout out to you.
What's the shout out?
Another Pass, a shout out to you.
Another Pass. What's that?
Hold on. I got a couple more. Um, on the stupid Lolo.
On
Shout
the
out to
scoop,
you.
Lolo. What's the
Yes.
good?
Wait. We still got a couple more. Give me a minute.
Yeah,
Bar
come on.
Banter Podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Shout out.
Getting Down and Wordy Podcast.
Get down
Shout
the
out to
word
you.
and shout out.
Hold on. So
Come
this
on.
is me trying podcast.
This is
Shout
me
out to
trying.
you.
I love that name. This is me trying,
Yes.
goddamn it. I
This
ain't
is
telling
me.
you nothing more or less. Trying.
Hold on. I think we got a couple more. The only real time traveler on Earth. Shout out to you.
Okay.
Hey,
I love
hey,
that name too. Yeah.
hey, hold on. We ain't done. Let's see. Okay, we might be done. Oh, no. I think that's a spam.
Okay.
The Mr. Mike podcast.
Mr.
Shout
Mike,
out to
what's
you.
happening?
Yes. River City Mystery Podcast.
River City Mystery
Shout out
Podcast.
to you.
What's good?
Hold on. Y'all getting this love today, goddamn.
Hey, y'all gonna get it.
Hold
Get this
on.
long stroke.
No, they're not getting no long stroke. That's weird. The Old Man's Podcast.
Old
Shout
Man
out
Podcast.
to you.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think I want to say that's it. That's all we got. So all those podcasters, all those people that are on Twitter. One thing I noticed about the podcast network on Twitter is that they are actually very supportive of each other.
Yes, and we appreciate it, man.
We definitely appreciate it. But what I like about it is that the podcasts that are following us are podcasts that kind of have a bit of a like mind. They're a little quirky on some nerd shit,
man,
we'll
take it.
They talk about beer and all this other stuff, but like a lot of
I want to see what this Old Man podcast about.
I'll send you. I'll tag you in the tweet that one of the people like shouted us out on. But definitely thank you, because the podcast network I see is a lot of people that really fuck with each other. They kind of stay on top of each other.
Yeah.
They go out and support each other. I go through and I look at their tweets, I laugh, I comment. You know what I'm saying? It's just nothing but love. So all those podcasters out there on Twitter, thank y'all so much, because we appreciate it, because we are man. Like,
hey, look, a hashtag or tag them into this.
I'm gonna make sure I tag them all on the podcast.
Yeah, make sure we get y'all a shout out, man.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely get the love. And nah, man, thank y'all. You got any shout outs?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my boy Henry, man. Henry Singleton, man. RIP, my boy, man. We didn't hit a year since he's been gone. Yeah. He's been one of my partners that growing up I kind of looked up to, because he was always like the dude that was getting the chicks, and you know what I'm saying? He was cool, but he was quiet. He didn't really have to had his bravado or nothing like that. He was just him. He was just Henry. And before his passing, he used to sit outside with me, man, and tell me all the time, like, he saw something in me that was special, and he was like, the world was gonna know. And I didn't understand what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, man, you doing good stuff out here, man. The world's gonna know. And that's all he would say.
You know what? Let me touch on that before we close out. I'm glad you said that, because I think that when people do have a sort of special aura about them, they're not supposed to know.
Yeah,
they're just supposed to just be, because when you try too hard to get people to gravitate to you, that's seeking validation. But when people just naturally gravitate to you, that's because there's something about you that people can't stay away from. It could be a stranger that you never knew. If they draw to you, then that's, if you can just attract people, just attract them, there's just something about that person that makes them irresistible. So yeah, man, those some good words by Henry, man.
It is, and with him saying that or whatever, it's more or less like, man, if you meet somebody in your life and you see something good in them, say it. Don't sit over there and wait till the last minute or wait till they gone and nothing like that. Give them their flowers while they there, and that's definitely what he did. He made sure I knew how he felt about me and what I was doing in my life.
Yeah, it don't make you weak. It don't make you soft.
No, and it didn't. And I
You know,
appreciated everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so uh I just wanted to make sure that, people see I keep him with me, at all times. And that's my brother, man, and I love him. And everything is going well, in whatever realm he is in, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
we can't explain it, but I'm gonna give a big shout out to Brent Hale. He's been one of our uh early viewers, and he's still continuing. He texted me earlier today
Shout out to
about,
Brent. Thank you,
yeah,
brother.
he sent me a text message earlier and he was like, really, that happened? Like, because I know him personally, so you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
he know a lot of crazy stuff that going on in my life, and so give a big shout out to Brent Hill and his wife Heather, because she watches as well.
Okay.
Uh,
Thank you, Brent and Heather. We appreciate that, man. Thank
yeah,
y'all.
man, and congratulations, they just adopted uh, his niece or
Okay.
cousin. No, his cousin, his little cousin. She's
Okay.
little sweet little baby, man, sweet little girl, and they just got the adoption papers. Everything is official. So congratulations to both of y'all on
Yeah.
getting that done, man.
Oh yeah, and one more shout out. Shout out to Santi and Lois, man. Y'all came out this weekend
Yeah,
and showed a little love and worked with me and came and did the photo shoot. Y'all brought my beautiful nieces with me. We
yeah,
enjoyed y'all and we spent a good chunk of the day together. They came around
yeah,
they came to the house around I want to say 4-ish, 5-ish. Um but shoot, didn't leave till like 11.
yeah.
So we spent a good deal of time together. We
That's
went to go
what's
take
up.
pictures, and we went to Brick House Tavern to go get something to eat, and then and we went to At Home so Lois can go find some Christmas decorations,
Yeah,
and then they went on here and went home, man. So shout out to Santi and Lois, and then
yes,
also shout out to our Patreon, Crystal
yes.
Saldana.
Crystal,
Crystal, you as you know,
still holding it down,
you
baby.
hold it down for us. We appreciate what you do. Soon as these clips and these videos go up, they are immediately on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We definitely appreciate what you're doing. So
Yes,
thank you so much. Also, if you do want to become a patron and support our Patreon page, you can get to that in the link down below. Also, if you just support the podcast, you just like the podcast, you want to hear more of the podcast, hey, help us grow so we can spread out to other people.
yeah,
If you
man.
like it,
Show it to your friends.
you might have some friends that might like it too. Great minds think alike. So therefore, if you like what you
And
see,
we want to hear what you got to say.
we
Like,
want to
put
hear
it
what
in
you
the
got to
comments.
say. Put it in the comments. So, make sure that you comment. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you share. And most importantly, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, man. There's some good stuff coming from Super Hadnot Bros, man. We talk about all kind of crazy shit on here.
Yeah, man.
We ain't got no niche. We ain't got no theme. We just two brothers having a conversation about nothing. Because, like I said, a
Actual
conversation about
brothers.
nothing. Blood brothers, same mama, same daddy. Because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about any and everything, and a lot of y'all are having those same conversations right now. Just don't want to talk about it in public. So
And
subscribe.
that is what I love about Brent, man. Like, I worked with Brent for a long ass time at my job, and
Yeah,
he would actually hear me go on these rants about stuff, and he would just laugh and be like, "Dude, like, you need to write a book." I was like, "Yeah, I do." So
yeah.
yeah, man. So it's the simple stuff like that, man. People just having conversations and enjoying those conversations.
Enjoying the conversation. It's funny because some of those podcast management accounts be like, you know, um, how does a podcast flow? Does it flow better where it's more structured or is it more casual? And I was just kind of like, we're casual. We casual as fuck.
We done casual. Y'all
We're
may think that we just sitting over here. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, it's been hurting me because I can't talk to my brother on the regular as normal, because we would normally have these conversations off camera, and then I'd say, hey man, one time we tried that shit, and I was like, man, what you think about this? And then we talked about it for like 2 hours.
yeah, we can't. Yeah,
But
we
it
can't.
wasn't recorded. And then when we got on screen, we didn't even bring the shit up.
We couldn't talk about it. Yeah, so we
Yeah.
have to. So just so y'all know, this is what we do for y'all. We literally avoid each other for a week
Yes.
just so we can have this conversation so that we can bring this stuff to y'all. So, man, y'all check us out, man. And one last thing, you know, we have merch. We got a shirt. All right. Like, we got a shirt. Go to the merchandise link and get the shirt, man. It's a dope
Yes,
ass
man. Go
shirt.
grab that shit.
You know, if you're into like retro gaming or anything like that, it's sort of theme like that with the Nintendo font, and it kind of has a color of our quotes on the front and the back of it. So, man, y'all be sure to go check that out at the link below, man. But I think that's just about it.
Yeah,
I need to go
man,
feed my dogs because
I gotta go tend
they being
to
weird.
everybody that came in the house a couple of times and whatnot. So I gotta go tend to people.
Yeah, I know you got company and all that. So, but
Yeah.
other than that, man, we appreciate y'all for listening, man. And until
For
the next
sure, for
time,
sure.
we will catch y'all. Well, we will catch y'all next week. And until then, peace.